That's Daytona to Los Angeles, 2,511 miles, and we've actually gone maybe just a little bit further than that in the running so far here at the 40th anniversary of the Rolex 24 at Daytona. And as always, it has indeed taken its toll. This car has survived a fair number of problems, but continues to run strongly. But over, what is, I believe, some 55% of the field that started this event hasn't. They're parked, they're done. Endurance racing, especially at Daytona, can be brutal.
But of course there was a huge amount of cars that did start.
Right.
And you know, you very often get the 50% attrition rate even in short races. So quite honestly, in a long race like that, I guess 50% or just over 50% is not too bad.
But one has
as long
to say,
as you're not one of the 50% that's gone.
But one has to say that a lot of it's been due to bashing one another around,
yeah,
which doesn't always happen.
Which, of course, you're going to get on this tight track, aren't you, with all that traffic?
Yeah, well, as I said before, there's 3 times as many cars per mile here as there are at the Le Mans 24 Hour, which one has to compare it with. Le Mans seems quite casual out there in the traffic compared to racing here at Daytona. It seems much easier to control the traffic. And I've been through so many Le Mans, I can happily say you can count the number of incidents that you might have missed, or sort of say that was close. Very, very rarely do you have an incident at Le Mans because of traffic.
Speed line coming across the bottom, and I think, well, there you go. I think we have a couple of Wayne Booth. One smooth producer. Wayne Booth from Kansas, and we just get word that our producer, who's Kimberly Booth, just said, "That's my dad." Well, he's got a good eye, because I'll tell you what, Kim has produced an absolutely stellar show here, and all the kudos that did come across on that to the camera people and the crew here are absolutely phenomenal and well earned. I mean, we had a couple shots of our camera crews, and I mean, once we're on the air, they're there until we're done up on the scaffolding, regardless of the weather or whatever. The guys down in the pits, that are shooting down there. But let's not forget, you've got all those wonderful replays we have and all those wonderful packages. That's an awesome tape room. It's just unbelievable. And here we go. Baldy is coming in, and we would expect, Calvin, to see Freddie Lienhard take control.
Absolutely right, Greg. Freddie is waiting for Mara to bring it in. And as he said, he was very emotional, waiting for this final hour. They were right on the brink of victory, and now they firmly have established. There's about 8 minutes left in this event. They have a big enough margin in terms of lead over the 36 machine that they can't be caught even if this car refused to fire up. So they're going to put Freddie in, let him try and see the checkered flag this afternoon, and Mara and the rest of the team are going to help him get fitted in there. They're going to keep all the grease on the car. Well, actually, one of the crew members now starting to wipe it off. Most of these guys like to keep it in its 24-hour colors with all the grease and grime on there, but they're just going to get Freddie bolted in, fire this Lara Judd back up, and this is a big moment for Judd too. I mean, there's been a lot of debate about whether this Judd can go 24 hours in flat-out trim. It's done it a couple of times, but with cars that have had gearbox problems and had healthy delays, but this is really the first time, I believe, that a Judd has gone flat out with no big delays and made it to 24 hours and going to take the victory here today. So hats off to John Judd and Jr. here, who's here this weekend.
Well, Calvin, you bring up a good point. I mean, the problems that this car has nothing to do with the engine. That engine has been absolutely stellar, and you know, it's based on a Formula One derivative, and everybody said, well, the high rev and all that vibrates it apart and vibrates components. Apparently not. You get it right, you get it right.
It is absolutely magnificent the way they've done it. The V10, V12 seem to handle it much better. I'm going back a little bit again, but I remember with the V8 Cosworth back years ago, John Wire said to Keith Duckworth, "We're going to go to Le Mans with a Cosworth engine, Keith. What do you think?" And Keith Duckworth said, "I wouldn't go, lad." so we did go with the Cosworth 3-liter and ultimately won it, but it was not easy. Such vibrations.
I'm sure it's interesting to speculate here, of course, the car that these guys are driving. We remember from our coverage of Le Mans last year, the silver machines with the Mopar sprint car engine derivatives in there. It makes you wonder, with the success here and the fact that this car has done well at Le Mans in terms of speed and pace, whether this team might explore that opportunity.
Well, I think there's more development left in this car too yet, and someone like Kevin Doran looking after it is going to make a big difference.
And Freddie's European. Freddie Lienhard, who owns the program, he is European, and quite logically would want to do it.
Well, keep in mind, I mentioned he won Sebring in '77. He now has Daytona. It's a thought there. This should be the last stop for the Racers Group Porsche. on its way to perhaps a class win, and looks like they're going to end up likely in the 7th spot overall. So this is the opportunity here. That's Michael Schramm who's getting on board and is going to be the one who won the coin toss apparently to bring it on home. And they're going to be heading back out and doing just that. I was going to mention, as I was sort of running through some of the great crew, I got to the people in videotape, and they're the ones that are spotting and looking for those replays. We have some of the best graphics that are going, great graphics staff. You listen to the audio when we go on board, or you listen to some of the stuff that's unfolding. There's a couple of guys in 2 different rooms actually mixing on. This crew is absolutely phenomenal. We always are going to miss somebody. We don't mean to, but thanks to just an unbelievable crew.
I think the standard of camera ship today for the last 18 hours, whatever that we've been doing, is absolutely outstanding. I mean, every time we mention anything or anybody, wow, was that a puff of smoke I saw? I mean, the next 4 cameras all in a row, just look right at it, and you won't see that on any other network, and that's something you've always seen on Speed Vision. It's something you're always going to see on Speed Channel.
Just like Formula One, you mean? It's like trying to follow the director in some foreign country, and we're sitting in the booth, and they go to somebody in the grandstand picking his nose. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Just
look at Mario Baldi just kind of refusing to take the helmet off. You notice that little bulge in the back that's just a wad of tape. When they put those seat inserts in, there's a headrest, but if you're shifted forward in that seat, you get going at 200 miles an hour and it starts to push that head back. They've got to do something for the helmet comfort, and that's exactly what that's all about. Here comes Lienhardt ducking underneath the car, second in GT right now, the number 44 machine. And, we've talked about a lot of people here getting this show done. We mentioned Kim Booth doing an awesome job producing, but how about Chuck Dressing up on the top? He's the one that's spotting. He's the spotter, picking out all these battles. And let's not forget Roger Vincent doing the directing, the technical director as well, the ADs keeping track of time. It's just an unbelievable group. And somebody once told me, they said, live TV, 30 seconds before you go on the air, it's absolute chaos and mayhem. And at that point, suddenly it clicks and it gels. And nowhere does it gel better than with Speed Vision, and nowhere will it gel better than Speed Channel. And we understand Calvin may have come across a borderline giddy Kevin Doran. Look at this.
Well, he's given a big handshake to all of his team right now. Let's try and jump in here, Kevin Doran. This is your 4th win at the Daytona 24. You did it twice with the late, great Al Holbert. You did it with the Momo team back in '98, but this one has to be special with a team of drivers, particularly Freddie out there right now. That's got to be very emotional for you. He's a great man.
Well, Freddie is a great man and a great leader, and he's given us the opportunity to come here and do this thing. So hopefully we'll give him a lot more wins in the years to come.
Potential with this car, Kevin. You've only got 2 races under your belt with it. You come here, you've won a 24-hour race. You had to make the switch to the Goodyear tires, which is a new tire manufacturer for you with the new regulations. But the car seems to be very fast, and it really bodes well for the rest of the season.
Well, the car is very fast, and I believe we're known for our durability and reliability with Doran Racing. So I expect in the future this car will be bulletproof.
Well, enjoy this one, Kevin, and we'll see you at Homestead.
All right, thank you very much.
We'll be back with more from Daytona International Speedway.